Strategy in Action, IKEA, by Ashley Sala, Agnieszka Moldach, Jessica Schaffer, and Tina Eppley.
IKEA is an international retailer of home products. IKEA is a privately held retailer chain that sells flat-pack furniture, bathroom and kitchen accessories all over the world. Founded in 1943, IKEA is an acronym. The name IKEA is derived from the initials of its founder, Ingvar Kamprad. IKEA is, however, owned by a foundation which is Dutch registered and owned by the Kamprad family. As a group, we are going to define the structure of the industry the company is in and analyse the competitive challenges the company faces within that industry. We will analyse the economic, political, social and technological factors that affect the company. We will then explain the strengths and weaknesses of the company's overall strategy and explain how this strategy meets the needs of the company's customers and other key stakeholders.
We have decided to use Porter's 5 forces model to show you how the bargaining power of suppliers, the bargaining power of customers, threat of new entrants and threat of substitute products creates competitive challenges for IKEA within the industry. The bargaining power of suppliers. IKEA relies almost totally on its network of hundreds of suppliers. These long-term partnerships mean that suppliers are encouraged to innovate ethical and efficient practices and designs to retain such a massive buyer. The bargaining power of customers. IKEA's business model and economy of scale means that it can offer quality products at cost price. The threat of new entrants. IKEA's ability to mass deliver products at low cost discourages new entrants from entering the market. The threat of substitute products and services. Increase in internet shopping can be seen as a threat, as companies may now be able to compete in terms of globalization, convenience, and operational cost. With IKEA's competitive costs and broad target industry-wide strategies, IKEA is aimed at the largest possible target market. The framework of generic strategies. Here we can see where IKEA is placed alongside some of its competitors in terms of cost and differentiation. Some other competitive challenges that IKEA face. How to preserve the organisational culture, maintaining long-term relationships with the suppliers in order to assure low and stable costs, keeping their prices low, how to prevent the imitations of the IKEA approach in other countries, controlling of purchase, distribution and design functions of the stores in order to preserve the spirit and homogeny of the company.
IKEA's performance in the UK is influenced by political, economical, social and technological factors. In terms of political factors, the stable democratic government and the liberal open market economy are advantages. Foreign trade is encouraged, especially with EU-based companies. This means that trade is not inhibited. The company can operate faster and is more flexible in terms of production places. Another political factor that clearly affects IKEA's performance in the UK is the minimum wage. By this, government artificially sets a lower level for labour demand. Companies cannot decide to employ those offering the labour force at the cheapest rate. This causes an increase in labour cost, which is unfavorable for IKEA. Not only political, but also economical factors influence IKEA. IKEA has a vertically integrated structure. It owns parts of its supply chain and has plants in 11 European countries. This means the company has control over its supply and is largely independent. Disadvantages, on the other hand, are currency fluctuations. The costs and margins change basically every day, since the prices cannot be adapted on a day-to-day basis. In case the British pound falls, IKEA actually loses money. Even though the economy is rehabilitating from the recession, some outcomes are still widely present. The Bank of England provides a very low interest rate at 0.5%, which is positive since average interest rates will be kept low. An indicator that the recession is over might be the GDP growth of 1.2% in the second quarter of 2010. Although it is not a huge growth rate, it shows that the economy is recovering. Growing household expenditure in the same period supports this assumption. A CPI inflation of 3.1% in the last year might also indicate more consumption and gives IKEA a chance to increase nominal prices. Still, housing prices in the UK are falling, maybe because consumers are afraid to make long-term arrangements now. Considering the low interest rate and the growing economy, this might have the consequence of more people buying houses in the nearer future, which could boost IKEA's sales. Social factors can also affect an enterprise's performance, though it is complicated to determine in which way and to what extent. After the recession, the population might be inhibited to buy long-term commodities. Besides, only 5% of the UK population is unsatisfied with their current accommodation. This might indicate less movings and thus less new homes. This must not necessarily be true, considering the assumptions made earlier. Clearly interpreted can be the rising unemployment rate in the UK in 2009, which indicates that private households have less income and thus less spending power. The GDP growth in the second quarter of 2010 promises a smaller unemployment rate. Besides, IKEA's target group makes up 80% of the population, households with income between £200 and £800 per week. In terms of technological factors, there are rather less in the UK that influence IKEA. Well-engineered hybrid technology is available in the UK. Furthermore, the UK offers a good infrastructure, modern technology and good communication systems, usual in an industrial developed country, but still worth mentioning. Besides, EU policy of introducing energy-saving devices such as bulbs and shower heads affects IKEA. New product lines have to be introduced, maybe new designs developed. Since IKEA consistently improves design and creates new products, this should not affect the company's performance dramatically.
IKEA has a low-cost strategy. It uses economies of scale and gains its revenue by selling lots of products. IKEA manages to keep its price low by selling furniture in flat packs. This practice leaves out the installment as an additional service for IKEA's customers. Otherwise, this charge would be included in the initial price. IKEA also offers a high product variety, not only numerous products, lines and styles, but also any other items that people need for their households. IKEA stores are located in suburbs, as to some people it may be too far away to get to. IKEA offers free shuttle bus services from easily accessible places to the stores. Also, it has introduced an e-commerce. Furthermore, IKEA's corporate culture has a huge influence on its performance. On the one hand, IKEA uses the Swedish culture as a tool for marketing. It uses the flag colors for its logo. Swedish traditions are explained in advertisements, and it also sells their groceries. Moreover, IKEA incorporates the Swedish lifestyle in its corporate policy. A weakness in IKEA's strategy is its high dependence from the European market. 90% of IKEA's revenue is gained in the European countries. Furthermore, IKEA's products are not of the highest quality. This is also reflected in a common opinion in the UK. Many people think of IKEA as a cheap, low-quality furniture retailer. This image does not support high sales. Additionally, there are many competitors in the UK, especially Argos and Asda. On the other hand, IKEA's strategy has a lot of strengths. Otherwise, the company would not bring profits. Its vertical integration gives IKEA independence. It can manage the allocation of raw materials and can operate faster. IKEA has also managed to create an international brand which is widely recognized. Its customizing options and different product lines attract many customers at every age and of various society groups. This means that IKEA has the potential to gain revenues. Adding to that, IKEA has a specialist knowledge and employs people with passion who are very good in their areas. IKEA has designed own product lines that work perfectly well together, are useful, nice and simple at the same time, which are characteristic and different from its competitors.
To conclude, we have defined the structure of the industry the company is in and analysed the competitive challenges the company faces within that industry. We have analysed the company and its economic, political, social and technological factors that affect the company. And we have explained the strengths and weaknesses of the company's overall strategy and explained how the strategy meets the needs of the company's customers and other key stakeholders. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation. Please, any questions, we will be very happy to answer them.